Hey boys and girls, we're back for another week here in the Odd Garage. We're trying this again. I am trying a new camera out. I spent way too much money on it for it to not work, so we're going to make this work one way or another. It's just I got to get used to it and figure out exactly how I'm filming with it. Like right now, everything behind me looks super bright, but that's because the garage is super bright compared to out here. Well, that also looks bright. Okay, maybe I need to adjust the camera a little bit more. Whatever. So, this week, we are going to be prepping that LS for this S10. Just that one right there. That's what we're doing this week. The plan is I have all new accessories. Well, I got some new accessories for it, mainly a new water pump thermostat. We've got the bracket over there that was on the Nova with the power steering pump that I am pretty sure is good. We're going to use. We've got multiple alternator options laying around, whether we pull one off of one of those engines, or I believe there's another one laying down there. Tomorrow I will have the other 4 coil packs, as well as the correct throttle body. Over here in the boxes, oh, we have a TH350 laying back there that's also going to go in the S10. Over here in the boxes, like I said, is the water pump, then some exhaust hangers and stuff for all that stuff. That's the 2-in-1, yeah. Spark plug wires. In this box is everything for the flex plate, the adapt a TH350 to the LS, the block off plate that I need for the intake, yeah, other stuff. Headers are up there, a set of flex fuel rails because that is set up for returnless. So we're going to find out whether or not those work just by bolting them on. Fingers crossed they do, because if not, my fuel system's not right and doesn't work. The missing air intake is laying up here as well. So these fuel rails all have to come off. What, baby? Yep, just give me a minute and I'll make it go down, okay? Right here. We'll do it now. There we go. Better?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is the plan. Tonight, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to work on stripping everything off of it. That way, tomorrow morning, we can pressure wash it, paint the block, and start putting things together, changing out gaskets and stuff, because we got to change the oil pan, which I have that laying over there in one of those boxes too. For the muscle car oil pan, which is a little less deep than that one is, so it'll fit inside the S10. We gotta get, but tonight we gotta get that header off. We gotta get the old engine mounts off. I'm not gonna put the new ones on quite yet because they gotta, even if I do, they gotta be loose fit, and I want to paint the block anyway. We'll go ahead and get those. Words are failing me tonight, guys. We'll get these coil packs off. We may go ahead and try to clean the mating surfaces right around here, so that way tomorrow when we pressure wash, we can just have all that masked off. I'm not going to mask off for the water pump because I think we're going to shoot some water in there and see if any gunk comes out. But yeah, the goal is to get that cleaned up. We'll probably clean that bracket over there up. So that's done as well. But yeah, tonight was just about let's get out here and let's get started. So yeah, all right. I am rambling. Let's shut up. Let's get this done. That is pretty much where we're going to call it for tonight. I know I didn't do a lot, but that's what I wanted to get done. Soak it down in some degreaser overnight to break things up a little bit. I'm going to stuff some rags down in those intake ports, and we're going to just hit the thing with the pressure washer in the morning and knock everything off. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, hey, I need to pause that music for a minute. We're constantly having the music in the background. We'll get demonetized before we ever get monetized. Oh no. But yeah, so that's the plan. We did that. Tomorrow morning we're going to pressure wash it. Throw a coat of some kind of paint on it. I don't know what color I'm going to go with yet. Baby. Hey. I don't know. I got stuff back there, but we'll probably go grab a new can just because I don't even know what I'll... I don't think I got any engine colors back here. Or at least... might be enough Chevy orange to paint the block. May paint the block Chevy orange. I don't want to paint the heads, obviously. I'm going to paint the valve covers in the block. May just do these in wrinkled black and the block in orange. Although you won't even see the block. I might honestly shoot the block black and then shoot these in Chevy orange. So that might be how it goes. Because you're not really going to see much of the block. But yeah. That is kind of the plan. Tomorrow morning, the only thing we didn't pull off tonight that we got to pull off yet is we got to drop the oil pan to swap that out, but I'm not doing that until we clean the engine. So, yes. Silly girl. Yeah, all right, there we go. And I got to say, so far so good. This camera does seem to record fairly well. Now she's trying to hide from the camera. Even though she wants to stomp around and make noise where you hear her on camera, she don't want to be seen. So, all right. Bring you guys back in the morning. Night. Boys and girls, we're back for another day. The LS has already been power washed, at least as good as I'm going to do it. Does appear to be mostly dry, I think. Maybe not. May go ahead and hit it with the torch in a few spots, dry it up a little bit more, and start getting ready to spray some paint on it. I'm going to spray paint this cover. I don't want to spray paint the heads, mainly because, well, they're aluminum. I've never had a set of aluminum heads before, so I'd like my aluminum heads to still look like they're aluminum. Well, that's a lie. The Nova's got aluminum heads, but you get what I mean. For the look I'm going to go for with this, I would like it to still, look aluminum. So I think I got a partial can of Chevy orange. I think that's what we're going to try to paint the block, and then from there, The valve covers, I think, are going to go gold later. We're going to worry about that once we're a little farther in. I got to pull the valve covers off to change valve cover gaskets anyway. So I think the plan is, as of right now, get it painted, and then we're going to work on probably dropping the pan. Yeah, we'll work on dropping the oil pan so we can get the new oil pan on. And then from there, I don't know, we'll start figuring it out from there. That's the start. Alright, there we go. Not perfect, nowhere near perfect, wasn't aiming for perfect. I wanted it orange, now it's orange. I could probably take and shoot that with some black, cover that up a little bit better, but I really don't care enough to bother with that. These are going to come off in a little bit. When we go to do the valve cover gaskets, we'll paint them then. I think I got some gold back there. I'm kind of like old school, like Chevy look, kind of, I guess. You could say orange block. Going to go with the gold valve covers like the old Morosos were, you know, the Moroso gold valve covers. We'll clean these up a little bit better when we get to that too, because the valve covers I do want to be clean. Man. Yeah, I think for the most part, this is as clean as all of it's getting. We just got to figure out, are we rolling it on its side or what are we doing so we can go ahead and get the oil pan done. I think I'm going to roll it over on its side just to make life easier. So, and open a door. Whew. Why did I do that with the door shut? That was dumb. Should have power washed. How well I had to power wash it out this morning. Dang it. Well, that's going in dirty. There we go. Ungag us. So, and like today's not a good day to paint. Like, yeah. So, all right. Next thing. First thing last. Next thing next. Yeah, oil pan. That's what needs done next. Should I be worried that it's coming out chunky? I feel like I should be worried that it's coming out chunky. We're gonna move on from the fact that that just came out looking like chunky syrup. And let's go ahead and remove this oil pan. Oh, and see what we find inside. And hope that it's condensation, or maybe for me power washing it. I'm really hoping it's for me power washing it. I really don't want to have to tell Brady that this thing was milkshake when I pulled the pan off. I feel like that will be a bummer for both of us. I didn't exactly seal this thing up great when I power washed it. So, but this may completely change what we do. We might be grabbing the other engine. We'll see how this looks once we pull it all off. Oh, here we go. I started to separate. Grab a hammer and a couple rags. Fetch me mallet! I just feel like there's still something holding it on. Because there is. One more that I missed. Oh, how does this look inside? Mildly sludgy. Oh, that is probably not good. And it is inside the pickup tube. Now, like I said, I did not do a great job of sealing this thing up beforehand. So, that could be part of the problem. Or this thing could be a high-mile sludge engine. There's also that too. That is also a very, very, very good possibility. Because, I guess that's not that bad down there. Just looked it. I mean, it's not great, don't get me wrong. It could be worse. Could be better. Definitely could be worse. Alright. There's that. Now, we need to, come on, open up. Oh, that needs to go on. Then, come on. Work with me here. Come on. Fancy shiny thing. Well, you're all being stubborn now. Come on. There we go. This also needs to go on. I believe that goes in the pan. So, fancy, fancy, shiny, shiny. It doesn't even look that much narrower. That's the terrible part. Yeah. We do have a new gasket to go with it. Somewhere in the pile over there. Because it didn't come with a gasket. I just don't think it did. Oh, hey, it did. We can take the gasket back. Woohoo! Actually, I think we need the gasket for the other one anyway. So, yeah. Alright, well, there's that. And that. We'll get that pan put together. You ready to throw it on the... Throw it on. Just... I'm really hoping I don't regret the way that pan looks. Alright, enough yapping. Let's get something done. Alright, there we go. I got the pickup tube on, set the seal on. I put the pan together. I went ahead and did all that off camera just because, well, it's quicker and simpler. Here's what we can line this sucker up. Plop. Alright, let's start getting some bolts in. It came with shiny new bolts and everything. Like fancy. So, and as you guys have seen on the channel, this is not my first time messing with an LS. This is my first time putting one together though. The one in the Nova, as you guys know, my brother-in-law put together for me. I dropped it in the car and then ran out of time to finish it. So I finished up that swap, but I've yet to actually do a swap start to finish myself. So this will be new. Here's hoping it goes well. Yeah, so so I think what this is, make a call. See how the yeah, on you oh, sorry, you can have other start on you. And let's start on you. I don't know. There we go. Done. Done. Like this, yeah. Yeah, take a show. Watch me, do. But no, normally, you don't do everything wrong way. You're right. That's what I on. Alright. Let's go. Lower time. Go. This is looking like the inside one. We're going to do a separate on it. Shortly after we're going to do. So, let's be safe. Done. Get flat back over. Like this again. I can show you what we're doing. There we go. It's there. Oh, maybe. And again, maybe. This will be a heavy pig. Whew. There we go. Oil pan on. Oil pan done. Whew. Now I think what we're going to do is dry some things off up here. I need to figure out what's going on with these. See if that's part of the intake or what's going on. And I think we'll get ready to, well, we're going to pull that oil pressure gauge out of the back of it that's broken and see if the one I have on the shelf will fit it. If not, we may be ordering a fitting. So I want to do that before this goes in the car or in the truck. So, yeah. Alright, 1 second, guys. Well, after a little bit of modifying, got the temp sensor out. I grabbed 2 of these bolts from one of the other engines. It'll be fine for now. The next goal, after we put this up, I had to order an adapter I forgot that I didn't order. And this is why I wanted to get started on this now instead of waiting till I got a week off coming up that I want to do most of the work in. But there was a lot of it I wanted to get done, like get the engine assembled before then. So then I know what parts I'm missing. Like, you know, an adapter for the oil sensor. What did I do with the old one to put it back in for now? It's on the floor. So, what we're going to do, just so there's nothing getting in the dang thing. I'll lightly screw that one back in. Next things next is we're going to work with the intake. The fuel rail's got to come off the intake. We're not using that one again. We have the flex fuel rails up there we're going to try putting on it, and hopefully that works. After that, we're going to move on to the front dress and get that done. I know I do not have an alternator to go with that bracket over there, so we're probably just going to grab a whole one off of one of those engines, slap it on, because I know they got good pumps and good alternators. So we're just going to use a whole one of them, throw it on for now, and then when we get another alternator to throw on there, we'll worry about it then. Because I'm not opposed to robbing some things off of those engines. I just didn't want to have to take everything off to do what I'm doing to this engine. So this was just a simpler option in the long run. Whereas that, if I use some bolts and stuff off of one of them, I can replace those later. So, yeah, all right, we're coming together pretty well. Getting to the point where maybe I should think about pulling those valve covers off, finish cleaning them so we can paint them. That might be, I think that's what we're gonna get ready to do. So I can throw a coat of paint on them, let them set and dry while I do everything else. Then putting those on will be the last little bit to make it look pretty. Let those dry. They're gonna need another coat or two before they're done completely anyway. Back over here at the engine, I have a mess everywhere. I'm terrible. The engine doesn't look too bad. It's a little wet inside of there, which I had a feeling it would be because, well, yeah, the way I pressure washed it this morning, it was kind of doomed to happen. I mean, looks like just a kind of a high miles engine, nothing really to write home about, nothing to really be worried about looking inside of it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go with. And I got to thinking about it. I was pressure washing over here. There was nothing plugging the the dipstick hole for that. So, a lot of that is probably because of that. So, yeah, I'm far less worried now the more I think about it. So, yeah. I think at this point we are going to stop for a little bit. I need to go get cleaned up before I get the kids. And we're going to go talk to the wife about, I think, at least a new crank sensor, if not a new crank and cam sensor. Just so I know they're good going in. Because both are kind of a pain to change once they're in the vehicle. So, especially the crank sensor with the starter on you can't do, and the cam sensor with the intake on is kind of a pain to do. Then we will get started on that once we know what's going on there. Honestly, after that we should be about golden. We should be about where we want to be, have about what we want done, and ready to move on to some other stuff. So, and I gotta get a hold of Brady and see when he's bringing over. He's got my coil packs and my throttle body, so I gotta see if and when he's bringing those over today. Hopefully he is, because like I said, I'd like to have this thing buttoned up and done by the end of this video. Which means I'd like to have it done by the end of today. So, because this was supposed to be like a one-day video, and it's quickly turned into like a 3 with the timing of everything. So, yeah, want to get it done. Yeah, all right. We'll be back. Okay, I noticed I'm missing a few things, so we're gonna run to the parts store and grab a couple things and come back. I think we'll go right ahead, take the old Nova out. Mainly because my hands are dirty and I don't feel like cleaning them to get anything else. Man, those look good on there. It's a shame they're gonna be half covered where you can't even see the color, but they look good right now. But the things I've noticed that I need is I need a slightly longer belt, because obviously you guys watch me fight with it, it would not go on. And I need a the thingy. You know, it goes in the doohickey. It's got a hose that runs to the other whatchamacallit. PCV valve. There we go. I need that. I need a PCV valve. And probably a hose that fits it to plumb it to wherever it needs. Where does it need plumbed? That's a good question. Let's look at that. Why didn't I just look at the one I was standing beside already? Why did I come all the way over here to this one where I can't even see anything? That comes up to this one. All right, so there we go. We know where it needs to go now. Why didn't I just look at the Nova? How do I have it plumbed on the Nova? Do I have it plumbed on the Nova? All right, I have it plumbed on the Nova. I think that's a factory hose. That looks like a factory. I wonder if I can order that hose. All right, to the auto parts store. Let's go figure some stuff out. It's always something. Can never just have all the parts. Ever. Never fails. I love the way this car sounds. I'm so happy to have this back on the road. So the video you guys missed was me and Seth putting the transmission back in this so I could actually drive it again. It has now been the daily driver for about a week. And I don't think I gotta tell you, I've been loving it. I am sorely upset with myself that I let this thing set for 15 years and did not enjoy it. I should have put this thing together a long time ago. But, and before anyone asks, yeah, I threw another 4L60 in it. Was that bright? Probably not. Is it working? Yes. Am I changing it anytime soon? No. It works. So, would a heavier duty transmission probably be a good idea? Probably with the way I drive it, but for right now, it'll be fine. If this survives through winter and maybe hopefully next year, I'll be happy. So, because it's a 4L60 with 190,000+ mile on. It shifts good. That's all I care. It doesn't slip. Ooh, ow. Yeah. All right. Into the parts store. Oh. Is there even a parking spot? Oh yeah, right out here on the end. There we go. And parked. In we go. Alright, I was going to try to film a little bit and like just have some fun with it with the wife for a minute, but they got insanely busy, insanely quick, and they're all still kind of busy. You know, I think there's only about 3 customers left in the store, so I am just I got what I needed and got out of the way. The PCV valve will show up tomorrow, and oh yeah, and it looks like one of the guys is leaving too. So now they're like going to be short-handed. So PCV valve will be here tomorrow. Then love the exhaust of this thing. I gotta order a couple of hoses and stuff off of Amazon just because it's gonna be cheaper to order it through there than it is even through her, because Amazon I don't pay shipping at this point. I got a Prime membership, them I'd have to pay shipping because they're that weird of a part. So we're just not going to go that route. Now wait for the traffic, but I will talk to you guys more when we get back to the house. But all right, so I found one of the hoses I thought I needed to buy. And, well, let's be honest, at this point, you guys don't want to hear me talk about the hoses. You don't want to hear me talk about the PVC valve. Honestly, to a degree, you probably don't even care about seeing me put the rest of the stuff together. What you want to see is this. The complete engine. Together, ready to drop in the truck. Given we do have a couple of things we're waiting for. We're waiting for that PCV valve to show up. We're waiting for we got to get the regulator hose and all that. But essentially, this thing is ready to drop in now. Headers are on, which I am very quickly learning. I do not like this header. Me and Seth are going to have to do some massaging with his gas axe and make that to where there's clearance. Because right now there is none. Like, you can't get a spark plug wrench or nothing in there to get that off. So that would have to come off anytime I want to do spark plugs. So that's going to have to be fixed to a degree. I think we're just going to do a little denty dent there and call her a day. At least to where we can get a plug on. I'm going to order 90-degree boots. That'll help some too. But yeah, this is it. This is how she's going to look. This is how she's going to be. Where did we put the oil cap at? Put the oil cap back on it if I knew where I put it. I don't know where that's at the moment. But yeah, like, I like the orange with the valve covers and the aluminum heads. I wish you could see more of the orange because, like, you're looking down in the truck. Right here is all you're going to see of the orange. You might see a little. No, you're not going to see any of it besides. So all you're going to see is that little bit of orange and the valve covers, and that's going to be it. But honestly, I'm okay with it. I painted it more for myself than I did for anyone else. So, yeah. There it is. We're not trying to make it run or anything right now because we've got more things to do yet. This was just, let's get it together and know it's ready to be put in the truck and not have to do that the same week. We want to get it in the truck. So, because I'm hoping I go on vacation the 19th. Today is the 11th. Or the 12th. Maybe the 12th. I'd have to look. And the hope is between the 19th and the 1st is to get this off of this stand, mounted to the transmission, and dropped in that S10 and be able to drive it to work on the 2nd. Or maybe it's the 1st. Maybe I gotta go back on the 1st. Maybe that's what it is. Either way, that's the goal, is I want to be able to drive this back to work at the end of my vacation with this in it. So, in order to do that, we needed to do all this. But yeah. I think this is what we're going to call for this video, though. We're going to call this part 1 of the LS swap. I was going to try to get it mounted to the transmission and have it sitting on the floor ready to go. But frankly, that thing needs power wash before I even touch it. So, and I didn't do that the other day, so that's going to be probably a tomorrow thing. I think now what we're going to do is we're going to get the garage cleaned back up and work on getting the S10 in here. And from there, we'll start the next video about getting the S10 itself prepped for the LS. So, we got to pull out the engine, pull out the transmission, start figuring out at least some of the fuel, figure out where we're going to run the wiring harness into the truck, and all that fun stuff. So, and just get the engine bay emptied of everything that we don't need for this. But yeah, alright. Till then, see you guys next time. Have a good one. Hope you enjoy watching this catastrophe. This was less about putting the engine together for me and more about just, it was more, I needed to do the prep work, but I needed to test out this camera. And so far, it seems okay. So we'll see how it goes in the next few videos. All right. Bye, guys.